Yo folks, how's it going? So welcome to another One Piece review. This time we're covering manga chapter 1142. So Oda is constantly teasing us with the Holy Knights. This, in my honest opinion, was like set up as to what's to come. But this pretty much got solidified that Robin is going to be one of the candidates to fight the Holy Knights. That was confirmed on this chapter. So that was good. Also, we got confirmation that Shamrock dipped, literally, which I was kind of hoping wasn't the case, but at the same time I'm not completely mad at it because I'm going to explain why by the end. But let's start off on the cover page, and it wouldn't be a Yamato cover story without Yamato. And boy oh boy, it did take long for this to get wrapped up. I was expecting more of an epic battle. Now, to be fair, I don't know if who's out of commission or if he's KO'd, but if that's the case, holy crap, Yamato just one-shotted who's who, like nothing. And all I'm thinking right now is, Sasaki, you dodged the bullet. Because if it wasn't for Yamato trying to protect Momonosuke, you'd be dead. Like I said, unless this turns out not to be a one-shot, and he goes into his zone form, boy oh boy, is this disappointing for who's who. But Yamato comes in, like I thought, to save the day, saving Ulti and Page 1, who wasn't in this cover page, but they're there in this situation. Which, speaking of Page and Ulti, we did get some information via the SBS 111, which I'm going to go into because I think timing is everything, considering how things line itself up. And this may involve Yamato as well. And this was a question posed to Oda himself, like Hanafunda, the Shishibukai that got mentioned last year in a previous SBS, who got defeated by Ace. I'll get to that shortly, but he was name dropped. He was a former Shishibukai. We get more information via this, and Oda was asked this because a lot of fans have been speculating that Hanafunda may indeed be the father of Ulti and Page 1. So Oda gets asked this, and immediately he's like, yeah, you got me. I was kind of hoping that I would be able to keep that top secret. But the question you really wanted to ask me was, what is the connection between Hanafunda and Kaido? So that was the information we get in this SBS, and it dived into a lot more than I thought it did. So originally, Kaido and Hanafunda actually battled, but it led to Hanafunda actually being starstruck by the strength of Kaido. And they ended up joining forces because they have mutual understanding. Kaido looking to strengthen the Beast Pirates. So much so, Hanafunda was willing to give his children up to Kaido to help Kaido out. I find it interesting because if you go back at the beginning of when the Toby Rover was fully introduced, it was Ulti who displayed personality from the get-go and displayed defiance for Kaido, not really falling in line. Look, it seemed like a gag because she was like bad-mouthing Kaido. Ulti even bad-mouthed Kaido right to his face, so it's not like she did it behind his back. I thought that was interesting, so maybe that has something to do with their past involving their father, who technically speaking was going to like join up with them. Due to certain circumstances, after being defeated by Ace, the government stripped him of being a Shishibukai. So if you embarrass the world government, you're done. Just look what happened to who's who. So yeah. Which I'm wondering if that has something to do with the reason why Who's Who was targeting Page 1 and Ulti out of spite, because technically he should have a gripe against the Shishibukai since he lost to a former Shishibukai in Jinbei. So I'm wondering if maybe I'm reading too much into that, but I don't know. Is there something maybe you can like add in there if you really want to make sense of this? Because otherwise, why is Who's Who doing this? So. Now, it's important to note that Hanafunda got taken down by Ace, but he was killed by pirates after that. So it wasn't Ace's doing, it was another group of pirates. So you're not going to mention the fact that it was done by pirates, and they're going to be random scrubs if this guy took on Kaido, survived, and took on Ace and survived. And I feel like there's some type of irony here because now, and like I said before, timing is everything, because now we have a cover story involving Ulti and Page 1 indirectly involved with Yamato. So Yamato coming in, taking down Who's Who, is not only helping Yamato recover the katana that Yamato is supposed to transport, but also rescue the Kunoichi that was kidnapped, as well as the carpenter. But also this indirectly helps out Ulti because Yamato just saved both Ulti and Page 1. So that's going to have an emotional impact on ulti. So I don't know where this goes, but like I said, timing is everything, because we're getting this information via the SBS, and it's not just coincidence that Yamato just happens to be the one to help out ulti and page 1. Yamato is the child of Kaido, so maybe Yamato is going to give ulti and page 1 the option go and travel the world themselves and leave Wano behind. Or maybe if Oda has intentions of having Yamato leave Wano, maybe Yamato is going to enlist the help, like I've been saying, of both ulti and page 1 on this journey, because there's no reason to not only highlight this, but the technique that Yamato used is Thunderbargo, which is exactly the same technique used when Yamato debuted to help out Luffy against ulti, and now here Yamato is using the same technique to help out ulti and page 1. There's got to be a reason why ulti and page 1 were included, so maybe we'll find out who those pirates were, because I guarantee they're not random scrubs. Not if you're hyping this former Shichibukai up to like being able to compete with Kaido and Ace. So no, I don't think they were just random scrubs, just like, oh, out of nowhere just managed to kill Hanafuda. No, there's something else to that. Let me know what you guys think down below. We start the chapter off with literally a serpent, a snake in silhouette at first, terrorizing the children of Elbaph, because we're at this Walrus school. So, and we know what Shamrock said. It's like, go and kidnap as many children as we need to from Elbaph, so they're the targets here. So the appearance of the Yamagunda gets briefed by the teachers of Walrus School, Anji, Kiba, and Blade. But as the Yamagunda is approaching Eiger, one of the children, Eiger's about to get eaten, but then out of nowhere, in comes Soul like a boss, coats his arm and haki, Luffy style punches this serpent into the ground. No joke, this kind of reminds me of Luffy decking the Pacifista. I don't know if that was just me, but the fact that he used arm and haki was beast makes perfect sense. He's a former Marine, and we know who his apprentice was in Vice Admiral Doll, so that has to go hand in hand here. So a lot of people saw this and they immediately get hyped for Robin. I'll save that by the end. And then after that, in comes Robin and Chopper to help out. And Robin asks Soul, "A beast like this? Are there beasts like this in the Sun World, Soul?" And Soul responds, "Usually there's some wild animals, but before he can say anything else, he's cut off by one of the children." So I feel like that was a lot more important than meets the eye here, because Oda just cut away from it, and that's not just like Oda something does without meaning. So there's got to be something to that. So they're going to put the dots together that there are wild beasts, but this isn't normal. So inside the school, another teacher, this time Wolf, we find got messed up, and apparently a Professor Ivor and others walked off without saying anything. So immediately you get the sense of, okay, there's some sort of hypnotic illusion tactics going on here, because we see a professor walked off, just leaving the kids, which is not something a teacher should do, or especially a professor, unless there's a real big reason for it. So, but then one of the kids asks Robin, "Hey, are you guys friends with Luffy?" And Robin says, "Why did Luffy do something to you?" It kind of gets brushed off because Soul goes running off to find out what's going on here. But Wolf warns Soul not to touch any of the children here. A group of children are walking to the beach, sleepwalking, because Robin points this out. As Robin mentions, oh, they're just walking. So they're sleepwalking to the beach. Again, a case of hypnotic tactics going on. So now there's a problem going on, because because remember what the Holy Knight said. Oh, maybe we need a ship to direct them to Merajoa. The magic circle, they can't perform the ritual summoning from the outside. Only somebody with a mark, namely Gunko, can do that. They need to prevent this. So I have to say, Blade quit thinking, because he immediately grabbed the trumpet to alert the rest of Elbaph. Hey, we need to get aboard on this and put a stop to this. And apparently it did get heard. So that while this is going on, Kiba is telling Soul there's something strange with the forest. Look, and we see two giant mythical creatures in silhouette hovering over the forest, resembling the Gorosei and the forms they took, but clearly that's not the case. At least not right now. So like I said, we kind of need a full explanation here. But Robin notices this. Chopper's freaking out, but I wonder if Robin remembers this from her experience involving Saturn. Robin doesn't really say too much about this because the kids pass out as well via this impact. So not only you got a group of kids walking to the beach about to get kidnapped, now you got a group of kids at the school passed out. And Chopper says, I need to examine these kids. Saul put me down. So again, this implies that Chopper is going to be involved with something else. So we go from there, we cut to the underworld, and finally we get to see Loki after he's picked up Ragnir. And go figure, it's a hammer. Obviously a throwback to Thor, but more specifically famous for Norse mythology. So that's why Loki's got it, of course. And never mind the fact that he has a devil fruit. And he literally says, if you want to save Elbaph, get rid of the last shackle, which we know there's another sea stone shackle around his leg. Sanji finally wakes up and says, what the hell is going on? Who is this guy? Luffy's freaking out. Zoro is the only one that's calm, cool, and collective here, which is interesting. And Loki is teasing the shit out of the giants here. It's like, oh, you better do something. If I swing, I'm not going to miss. And there's going to be a fire caused. And you know what the weakness of Elbaph is. Kind of like what I said, that was going to be exploited. But you see the monster trio, like, posing in front like bosses. Harudin is like freaking out. It's like, yo, you need to put a stop to this. And if this, listen, this is not going to lead into a fight between the two because Loki, let's be real, Harudin will get stomped. So that rules him out of the equation, but he's got to be a part of the resolution. But Loki swings, and my god, what an epic panel. He strikes with rage and furious anger. He hits Elbaph with a huge lightning bolt. One of the villages catches fire, and coincidentally enough, it's the village that Jarul is at, the Elder, which technically speaking, Usopp, Brook, and Nami, as well as Jinbei, should also be in that same area. So that's not too much of a problem because Jinbei could put that out. They see the fire starting, they need to put that out. Like I said, Jinbei there, if he is, that's not a problem. Then they mentioned they heard the trumpet before, so they heard what was going on. So now we're in, if it were in Amber Alert because of Loki, now we're in Red Alert because of the invasion of the Holy Knights. We go back to Walrus School and we get somewhat of a flashback of what the kids were up to. And there's a lot more to the youth of Elbaph than I originally thought, because Angie is like pointing out one of the lessons today. It just happened that the kids were like drawing pictures and they were describing the monsters that they were drawing. But there were also two very notable pictures, one of Loki and the other of Nika. Loki was described as Loki is going to use the hammer to destroy the world. Of course, not the one who's going to destroy the world is Nika. And the two notable pictures that first got showed up. So that was done intentionally and deliberately because we know there's going to be an alliance formed at some point involving Loki and some kind of Nika Joy Boy. Sorry. We know the alliance is coming, so this is more teasers from Oda. They're the first two notable pictures from the kids. Then we get names for all the other creatures that get drawn up. So three of which are more notable than others. Needhawk, Yamagunda, which we already saw got taken down by Soul, so keep that in mind. Dragor, Storms, and Ghosts. We saw Yamagunda at the very beginning of this chapter get taken down by Soul, so this is, you can't throw this out the window anymore. So it's not just random scribblings, like there's something more going on with the kids of Elbaph than meets the eye. Because we see another picture, and it's one of the mythical creatures in silhouette that we see. We see another, and that being the bird. These are the drawings that children come up with when they think of fear. So we get an epic panel of all the drawings of the monsters that the children fear. This is the children's most feared world. A lot of people are going to be theorizing this for days. It's not too difficult compared to the Harley that we got from the lore drop we got a couple of chapters ago. This to me is like kind of like foreshadowing what's coming here. Now again, we didn't see Bunko transform into a Zoan, so unless that's part of the Devil Fruit, we don't really know right now, because if it's linked to Emu, they could be capable of anything. This could very well lead into like teasing the like Zoan forms of the Holy Knights. It could be highlighting certain players that's going to be involved in this situation. Two of which being Luffy and Loki. Now, the Yamaguna got taken down at the beginning of this chapter. Storm could be a reference to Zeus, which is currently held by Nami. We see a skeleton, so that could also be a hint at Brook. So, and again, maybe I'm reading too much of this, but maybe Storm is a reference to Zeus. That could play a role with the lightning that Nami could use, maybe. We cut to the Holy Knights as Killingham is like being patted on the back for a job well done. So obviously this is Killingham's doing. We don't know what it is exactly, or what his abilities are. Like I said, I think it's more to do with illusion and hypnosis type of deal here, especially with how the kids are like sleepwalking to the beach, maybe. But we have the conversation between the three, and it's confirmed now that Shamrock has left because we don't see him at all in this situation. And then the most notable thing from this is like, and because this chapters are all about fear, Saint Summers is like asking Gunko, "What is it you fear?" And no hesitation, Gunko straight up points out Nika. So if that isn't like teases up enough, that's definitely happening, and that's how Oda ends the chapter. Like I said, this chapter felt more like setup than anything else, and I'm not complaining about it. Shamrock has left the scene, so he's back on Marajoa. So it's either Oda had a change of plans, or Oda deliberately used this guy to hype up the Holy Knights, knowing full well he wasn't going to use Shamrock in this situation, which I'm not totally mad at, because this goes back to what I said at the beginning. Like, my interest has always been, well, the other Holy Knights, especially with the Gunko, especially after this chapter. Everything that we've seen involving the Holy Knights, Gunko commands the most attention. I'm sorry, like, you can like hype up Shamrock all you want, of Shanks, that's fine. But from pen to paper and what we see here, Gunko has more credibility than Shamrock right now. And yes, I know Gunko technically attacked Loki while he was shackled up, but so did Shamrock. But the major difference here is Gunko actually attacked two guards in the castle, brought one of them down, and actually is the only one who could perform the ritual summoning nights. Shamrock couldn't do that. If he could, he wouldn't ask why. I only specifically asked for one. Why do we get two? So he can't control that. So all the focus was on Shamrock, but I said it right from the get-go. Oda did that deliberately. To know you focus on Shamrock right now, but don't sleep on Gunko and the other Holy Knights. That's literally what I said. So I stuck to that. Gunko is more interested in Shamrock. I'm still sticking to that. Oda decided to have Shamrock dip to another role. I don't know what role could be more important than what's going on in Elbaph, but he decided to have Shamrock dip back to Marajoa. But so now the hype is really on Gunko and the other Holy Knights, St. Killingham and St. Summers. We'll have to wait and see what they can do. Like, there's an interesting panel where, again, Oda, with not only the weird design of Killingham, but also the expressions that he displays in a single panel. Like, on one instance, he's like fully awake. In another, he's like dead asleep with the sphere around his face. So it's weird. And also, people like to point out his appearance with the clouds kind of mimicking what Luffy has in his Gear 5th form. I don't know if there's anything to that, but I definitely found it was interesting. And another thing too, a lot of people seem to think that maybe St. Killingham is the same kid from the Big Mom flashback. A lot of people seem to think that when it comes to like members of Holy Knights, but because we haven't seen him in his regular form, he's in his zone form right now. I will say, if that is the case, then it solidifies we need to get an interaction between St. Killingham and Gerd at some point, because Gerd was also a part of the Big Man flashback. But the way this chapter worked itself out, it definitely seems like this is gearing up more towards the Straw Hats. Now, this chapter solidifies Robin's definitely getting a fight, because Robin right now, alongside Saul, are the only ones that could like combat what's going on with the children. Chopper said he's like going to find a way to reverse what's going on with the kids. So Chopper's going to be busy. We haven't seen Vegapunk Love, and we have not seen Barney in a while. Oda could be doing that deliberately, because maybe they have a hand in this, or this could be what I said, and either Robin gets the 1v1 against one of these Holy Knights, or this could be a team-up. I wouldn't mind either way, because the situation calls for it anyway, with Robin and Saul teaming up to take on one, if not a few of the Holy Knights, because there's only 3 right now, so how many 1v1s can we actually get here? Robin's definitely going to get a fight. It's just whether or not it's going to be 1v1 or she teams up with Soul. And with Soul demonstrating he can use Haki, which shouldn't be a shock, but it definitely opens up the door for possibly Soul either teaching Robin Haki, or with what Rayleigh said, that Haki blooms in the heat of battle, maybe Robin uses Eminent Haki when she's fighting one of the Holy Knights. That's a possibility. But it just makes you question what's going to happen by the end with Robin and Soul. Because there's definitely going to be a separation, but there has to be a resolution here. That's going to do it for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys know what to do. If you like this review, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate that. I greatly appreciate all you guys' support when it comes to One Piece reviews. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.